G'day everyone, Kitch here again from SoundFlow. Welcome to another edition of live coding sessions where we take questions from SoundFlow users and others about workflows that they'd like to achieve with SoundFlow, and we code them in real time. So hopefully we'll come out with a positive result. So let's see what we've got today. So Costas has reached out in the SoundFlow user forum with a thread. He's named "Get Pro Tools Audio Clip Metadata into Variables" in variables, and he's written, "Hi, I want to create track markers with the channel names provided by the field recording engineer, but I can't find a way to put the channel name in a variable in SoundFlow because I can't copy or do anything with it from the clip rename dialog. Is there something that I'm missing, or is it just not possible right now?" I believe it is possible. What I want to do is get the clip names and create markers in the start of each clip, so that I know which actor is speaking at any time. So let's see if we can do that. So over here in Pro Tools, I've got some field recorder tracks, and if I open the clip rename window for them, I can see that they've got a channel name written here, which is channel boom 2 for that one. And if I open this one, we've got lav 1. So I believe Costas is trying to get this this bit of information and create a marker at the endpoint of that clip. So let's see if we can do that. So the first thing that I like to do when I'm creating a script, I've selected my package here. I've clicked the plus button and selected script, and I've created a script name field recorder marker. And then in there, what I like to do is I like to create a bit of a roadmap of what I want to achieve in the script. So I've written some comments here for each step that I'd like to take. So the first comment is activate Pro Tools main window. Then the second one is get the clip channel name from the rename clip window. Then I need to get the selected track name. Then I need to get the timeline selections in time. And then I want to create a memory location on the selected track at the in time. So the first step is quite easy. We're going to use sf.ui.protools.app activate main window. So just so you're not confused, this SF stands for SoundFlow, UI stands for User Interface, Pro Tools, that's the app that we're controlling, and the method, and methods, as you can see, have open and closed parentheses after it, which calls the method. So a method is an action, I guess. So the app activate main window action. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to proceed then to get the clip's channel name from the rename clip window. So the first step in Pro Tools would be to select clip and then rename ... So capital C, capital R for rename, and ... there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use SF for SoundFlow, UI, User Interface, Pro Tools, and then I'll do menu click, and that takes in some properties. And so the property that we want to be using here is the menu path. And if I roll over menu path, as you can see, the type that it expects is a string array. So we've got string and then open and close square brackets. So we're going to need to put open and close square brackets, and inside that we need to provide the menu path. And as we saw, the menu path was capital CLIP, and then rename, RENAME, and then ... We've got to make sure that the capitalization and any special characters is exactly correct. So then we can click the format button up here, and that will format it, or we can use Option Shift F, and that'll make it look nice. So if I run this, I can use the run command button here. I can also use command return, and that will run the script. So if I do that, as you can see, it opens up the clip rename window. So let's get the clip rename window as a variable. So to do this, we're going to use the pick button here, and then I'm going to click the pick button, and it says please select the UI element in the app that you want to control. So I'm going to use Command Tab to tab over to Pro Tools, and once that's available, I'm going to select the clip rename window. And now if I Command Tab back over to SoundFlow, it's actually created the path to that UI element. So we've got SoundFlow, User Interface, Pro Tools, Windows whose title is Name. As you can see, the window title here is Name, and it's the first of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a variable. So I'm going to go const, because this is not going to change throughout the script, and then I'm going to call this name window. So name win, and I'll probably just actually call this clip name window, and I'm putting this in camel case, which is where the first character is lowercase, and for every word after that it's an uppercase letter. So clip name win for window, and again formatting that. So now what we want to do is we want to wait for this clip name window to appear, and it actually should be called clip rename window. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go clip rename window, and I'm going to use element wait for. So the element wait for by default will wait for that UI element to appear. If it doesn't appear, it will throw an error. So now that we've got that sorted, we want to then get the value of the channel here. So the value that's written here. So this one says lav1. So we want to get that that bit of text right there. So the next step, and I probably won't go into it in this video, but if anyone's interested, I'd be happy to make a video on it. But you'd need to make sure that the clip info panel is actually open. And I believe that you can just select the UI element here and then click it, and you can base it on the frame height, whether or not it's open or closed. But for now, we're just going to just pretend that it's open, and maybe we'll come back to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pick button here, and we're going to go pick, and we're going to go over and we're going to select the channel name right here. So as you can see, it's turned red. And if we come back here, because we've got the clip rename window as a variable, as you can see, that's the same bit of information that's selected down here. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to replace this here, and we can see that the groups, so we've got clip rename window, groups whose title is clip info first. So that looks to me to be the clip info panel here. So let's turn that into a variable. So I'm going to move this to the next line. I'm going to go const, and I'm going to say clip info panel, like so. And so from the clip info panel, we then reference that from here. So then we've got the text fields. So what this is saying is the clip info panel, the children, so the children are the elements that are inside the clip info panel, so inside this panel here. Then we've got children whose role is AX static text. So right now we're definitively finding the one whose value is lav1. So it says lav1. But as we know that this is going to change. So we could work out the index of this element here, but that may change over time if Pro Tools decided to add more information in this clip info window. So what I'm going to do is instead I'm going to use element debug, which is a cool feature that you only use for in the development stages of a script. but it can give you information on the UI element. So I'm going to use .element debug, and then I'm going to add attributes here, or attributes, and I'm going to set that to true. And now if I run this script, as you can see, it didn't do anything, but if I click on SoundFlow icon up here, and then go to the second page here, and then go open log file, as you can see, it's given me some information about that UI element. So I've scrolled right to the bottom, and it's given me information on that UI element. So we can see that the value is lav1, and looking through the general information down here, I don't see anything that is specific that allows me to identify what that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the attributes here and see if there's anything in here that I might be able to hang on to. So if I look at children, that's not going to help. Enable, not going to help. Focus, not going to help. And I've got this one here, AX identifier, and it looks like it has a value of Chan. So this is probably the way that they identify under the hood. So unless there's something better than that, which I don't believe there is, I think I'm going to go for using the AX identifier to find that UI element. So to do that, I'm going to just double check this by using the getString method. So I'm going to say getString, and then I'm going to copy the AX, the property name here into there, and let's just log this out and see what happens. So if I run that, and as you can see, it comes up with Chan, which is exactly what we want. So instead of using this direct reference to the one whose value is lav1, I'm going to get all the static text fields here, and I'm going to use the find method, and the find method will find the first one that matches the information that we're looking for. So I'm going to go find, and then I'm going to go text, and I'm going to actually I'll just go static text, and then static text, static text, and then I'll say equals, and I'll go Chan like that, and then that's going to find the first one that has an AX identifier that is named Chan. So the triple equals here means that it's going to match not just the value but also the type. So it's a type of string. The type is a string, and the value is Chan. So now that we've got that, if I run, if I just finish this up, you can sometimes see when we've got things that are marked in red, and over on the side here they're in red. That means that there's a problem with the syntax. And I know because this open bracket here is in red, it's expecting it to be closed at the end. So I'm going to add one more, and as you can see, the red goes away and the red goes away here. So I'm going to run this now and see what happens. Okay, great. It's given us the UI element, the static text field that we're looking for. So from that, what I want to do is I want to get from the static text field, I want to get the value. So I'm going to go value. And if I run that again, as you can see, it comes up with lav1, which is correct. So let's convert this down to a variable. So we've got that that value into the variable. So as Costas wanted, we've got channel. It's going to be the channel name. So I'm going to remove the log here, and I'm going to go const channel name name equals, and remove that. So that's now the channel name. So if I go log channel name and run that again, it gives us lav1. So we can test this by opening up a different window and running that again. And as you can see, it comes up with lav2, and just for something completely different, this one is boom 2, so we'll see that. Okay, so this is correctly working. So now that this is in a variable that we can use, the next step is we need to get the selected track name. So to get the selected track name, we could use the SoundFlow inbuilt method, but for now I think because I'm going to be using some other Pro Tools SDK methods, I'm just going to use the Pro Tools SDK method to get the selected track name. So to do that, I'm going to go const, and I'm going to say selected track name, and go equals, and I'm going to use sf.app. So app is where the external SDKs live, and I'm going to use Pro Tools, and inside that we're going to get the tracks and all items. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to invalidate the track names just in case things have happened since the last script that you've run, so we get a completely fresh set of tracks here. So from all the tracks here, then what we want to do is we want to find the first track that is selected and that is not hidden. So I'm going to go find, and inside here I'm going to go track, and then track dot is hidden, and what I want is I want it to return the opposite of that value, because if it is hidden, we want it to be is visible. So we do an exclamation mark at the front of that, and that will make sure that it finds the first track that is not hidden. And then we also want to find the first one that's selected, or in conjunction with that, we want to find the first one that is visible and is selected. So we're going to go track and then is selected, like so. And then because this is the find method, this is going to return the track that we're after, but we need to get the track name out of that. So I'm going to do dot and then write name here, like so. So if I go log selected track name, if I run that, as you can see, it comes up with ref tone, whatever the track name is. So ref tone, let me try it one more time, ref tone 01.3, which is correct to the track name here. So that's good. So we've got that step done. So now what we want to do is we're going to be referencing this later, so we don't need that. And we're going to be referencing the channel name later. We don't need to be logging that out anymore. So what we want to do now is we want to get the timeline selections in time. So I'm going to go const, and I'm going to, and actually just to explain a little bit first about the reason why I need the in time is when I create a memory location, I need to specify the selected track name if it's going to be a track marker, and we need to specify the in time so it knows where to put that place that marker on the selected track. So to get the in time, I'm just going to say let's just write in time here, and we're going to use the Pro Tools SDK again. So we're going to use sf.app.protools, and we're going to get the timeline selection. So this is a method here that gets the current timeline selection, and so from that has return values that allow us to get the information we want. So it's got in time, out time, all of these different options here. But the one that we want is the in time. So now that we've got that, we can move on to creating a memory location on the selected track. And I just remembered something that we didn't cover further up here. After we get the channel name, we need to close that window. I just thought of that, so let's go back and deal with that. So if I if I go back in here and I go clip rename and wait for that window to open, what we want to be doing is we want to be clicking cancel and then waiting for the window to disappear. So let's go pick and come back here. I'm going to click this button here. And we know that this reference is going to be clip rename window. So this is going to be the cancel button. So I'm going to go const cancel btn for button. And then I'll go cancel button dot element click like so. And then we want to wait for the rename window to disappear. So we can copy this line of code here, which was the waiting for it to appear, and paste that there. And then inside the parentheses here, we can create an object and choose the wait type for, and if we put quotes here, and if I hold down control and spacebar, we can select disappear. So that will wait for the clip rename window to disappear. So now that we've done that, let's get back to creating a memory location. So yeah, essentially this is going to open up the clip rename window, and then it will get the channel name, and then it will click the cancel button to close the window, and it will wait for it to disappear. And so now if I run this now, as you can see, it opens it up and closes it straight away. So that's doing exactly what we want. So now we're going to use the Pro Tools SDK one more time to create a memory location. So let's use sf.app Pro Tools, and then memory location. So we're going to go create memory location. And this takes in a bunch of parameters. And so what we want to do first is we want to name the memory location. And so the memory location name is going to be the channel name here. So I'm going to paste that there like so. And then the next thing we want to do is, let me just clear that. So I put a comma at the end here so that I can add another property here. So now what we want to do is we want to get the track name. So the track name property here, and we want to assign the track name property to the selected track name to make sure that it makes a marker on that track. So, so now that that's there, we then want to set the end time for the marker. So the start time is going to be the same as end time here. So copy that, end time like so. And if you wanted to get more complex with that, there's more properties that you can set in here. It might be good to, you know, maybe like set the color index. So if when I'm creating a marker in here, I can select the color index. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So so maybe if we chose, if it's in index, I think it's actually the number of it. So let's choose, say, 10, and that'll probably be green. So that'll probably create a green one. So I'm just going to put a comment here and just call it green, because I know that the color index is going to be 10. Okay, so now we've got that done. That should do what we're after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a trigger for this, a keyboard trigger. I'm going to do this when Pro Tools is active. But first I'm just going to assign that and set it to Pro Tools. Oh, so I didn't collect it correctly. So Control X I'm going to use. So when these apps are focused, I've got Pro Tools selected. And then the keyboard combination, I've used Control X, which I use for testing most of my scripts. So if we come over here, cancel out of that, and let's say that this was here, and this was here like so. And if I selected this clip here, if I do Control X, oops, what's going on? Let me see. Why did that not run? Control X. Okay, I had a quick conflict that I had to sort out just from my test account here, so apologies for that. Let's see if we can do this now. So I've assigned the keyboard shortcut Control X for when Pro Tools is focused, and if I've arranged these like this, if I select a clip here and do Control X, that will go through, and this is mix L, so mix left. This will probably be mix right. And that will do that there. And if I run this one, that's the boom. This one here, boom 2, and lav 1. So that should achieve what you're after, Costas. And this could actually be cleaned up a little bit. It could be made into a this could be made into a reusable function, so that it's opening the rename window and getting the channel information and returning that back. But for now, this should do what you're after. And as I said, if you've got any questions, let me know. And I hope you've got some good information out of this. Rock and roll.